Hey gang, welcome to your daily reading. This is going to be for January 24th, Thursday. Trying to get this one out a little early. Um, Exciting, interesting day. Super excited about our rune. Let me start off with that. This is super cool. So we've got Sowelu, something like that. Rune of the Sun. So if you know tarot symbolism, this is always like the Sun card in the traditional tarot deck. So success, um, things working out. I mean, it's a good sign. It's a prosperous sign that pretty much success and things are going to work out. Things are going to be growing as they should. Things should be flowing as they should. I like the visual of this rune representing the sun and kind of rising over the horizon and melting all the ice, melting all the snow that's kept you stuck in hibernation, trapped inside. Now all of that is melting away. Same as these obstacles and these blocks that we've felt or perceived that this eclipse has really helped to break through. Again, this is just another sign that these shifts are beginning and these doors are opening up and these pathways are clearing. So super jazzed about this little fella. As far as our aspects today, nothing crazy, nothing super wonky. We do have 3 lunar aspects, but I feel like they're just kind of in the flow. They're kind of just happening, not necessarily going to mess with us too much. Early morning, we do have a square to Venus, which can, this can make people, especially in like emotional relationships, this can make people a little standoffish. Sometimes it makes us feel disappointing or disappointed, depending on what side of that coin you're on. So not the most comfortable of situations. But again, like I said, it happens at like midnight Pacific Standard Time. So most of us are alone and unconscious and asleep. Anyway, unless you're out at a bar, then just be careful. What comes after that? So early morning, we have our moon makes a trine to Mercury, and then later on tonight, we have a trine with Pluto, which I think really help us to get out of that square with Venus. Venus may be helping to highlight, hey, here's where some things may need a readjustment. We may be in this relationship, maybe we're not super happy, or maybe this person is a good person, but they're not treating us as they should. Things aren't working out as we had planned, and now we've been settling on it for a bit. So Venus is helping to kind of bring that to our attention. And then this trine with Mercury is going to help align essentially mind and heart. So our emotions and our thoughts are going to flow and be connected, or much more connected, I should say. So that we can actually kind of speak about it. Like, hey, I feel a certain way about this situation, and I need to talk about it. So I'm going to share with you clearly what's going on. And then the trine with Pluto sometimes can bring some emotional outbursts. But they're outbursts that help to get us to a better place. We may have to be a little radical and tap into that rebel energy and change some things, and something might blow up. But if something blows up, it's probably something that wasn't really serving us in the first place, right? So that being said, I think those 3 kind of just work together. Make us look at some issues. Okay, let's talk about it, and I can find the words easily. And then if some things need to change, then you have this little push from Pluto to transform some situations, all leading to successful, wonderful, happy places. Beautiful. All right, so let's get into our cards today. So we have our moon, Goddess of the Moon Oracle. I don't really have a reason for this one. I thought about it and I was like, we just had a major lunar event and I didn't whip out the Moon Goddess Oracle. It's like, nope, we're going to whip her out now then. Alright. I saw you. I saw you too. We're going to take that. That took forever. Like, it was, like, hanging on. Okay, I'm going to take these 3. Okay. Alright. Sweet. So, first card out, Surrender. At first I thought this was like a big animal or something. This guy has like a little head, ear, a little paw coming out of the deck. So we got surrender. We also got realization. Yes. This moon opening the doorway. And then gratitude, a beautiful energy to carry with us. I think this is great. Let me get the book so we can read about these babies. I don't know how many of you are into numerology, but for some reason I keep staring at these numbers, so they're important to someone out there. So we've got surrender, which is 26, realization, which is 3, which is one of my favorite numbers. It actually was my dad's favorite number. And then gratitude, 23. So 26, 3, 23. Anyone who wanted to know those, there you go. Start with surrender. Here we are. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Let go of what you no longer need. We talked about that with that square to Venus. Stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. I would almost say this card is really speaking to allowing the universe to work through you. Because again, you're surrendering to divine will. You know, they are using you for something. They're guiding you for some reason. You know, listen to those messages and follow them. You know, you don't necessarily have to question every little thing. Or like, is this right? Is this wrong? If it feels right, just do it. Embrace it. Surrender. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Here we are. Oh wait, hello. That was so weird. I totally intently looked up the number 6 when I really needed the number 3. Don't know what that was about. Realization. With self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is important. Beautiful. I would say, like, this is really about, I almost want to say, looking at the part you've played in this journey. I mean, obviously, if you're coming looking for questions or looking for answers, you have questions. And these questions usually come from, you know, not being where you saw, where you wanted, you know, that whole gambit of, you know, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But I would say this card kind of has 2 parts that I just talked about. One is really just the knowledge of the part you played in this. What decisions got you to this current place? You know, what behaviors, beliefs, all of that. So that's kind of like one part. The next is then the decision on how we take that forward. So now we know how we got into this situation. What are we going to do about it? It's that level of awareness that the realization card kind of pulls forward. And I think that was a lot of what this eclipse did for a lot of us. It really was about highlighting these moments to bring awareness to it so that we can look at it, process it, release it, because we are really on this path to manifest something amazing, something beautiful, and something that we've been working on for a long time. But a lot of times we've built up different behaviors that maybe protected us at one point. They served a purpose way back when, and usually it's a form of self-protection. As we move into this next cycle, one that I think is more authentic and true to, you know, the life that we came here to live, those old behaviors are no longer necessary. So it's time to kind of leave them in the past where they belong, so that one, we can build new behaviors that are more in line with this, and also so we can welcome in this abundance. That's really what this is. Alright, and then last but not least, gratitude. Let me look up the right number this time. Here we go. Be where you are and be thankful. Oh, yeah, be where you are. Self-realization. Alright. There is always something to be grateful for, no matter your suffering. Gratitude raises a lower vibration to a higher one. Do not allow yourself to be surrounded by too many negative people. Life is conspiring for you. Yes, if I relate this to this realization card, it's really about that idea that no matter what, there's always something to be grateful for. There really is. You know, and part of this realization, you know, realizing the choices you made, also highlights why you made them. You know, maybe it didn't get you, you know, the mansion and the servants and the, you know, the Beverly Hills address, but, you know, it got you a roof over your head. It got you, you know, a job that pays for, you know, your bills. it gives you the opportunity to have an income. Even though they may not be the full realization of the dream, those decisions got you to a place where you can take care of yourself, you can stand on your own 2 feet. It's brought, friends and, compassionate people into your life that support you and care about you. So there's always something to be grateful for, sorry. And I think sometimes we get so caught up. I look at the surrender card as I say this. Sometimes we get so caught up in the dream and the future and what's coming, what am I working on? We don't really take the moment to stand in place and look what we have. And I read this somewhere many, many years, and actually I've seen it several times in adulthood, but it's every time I see it, it's always true. And I think there's memes of it all over the place. But it's the sentiment that essentially remember there was one day that you wished and dreamed for the things you have now. We're always growing and evolving and moving forward, and we kind of forget that we've made progress. We just look ahead and see this long road, when really there's a long road behind us as well. I kind of feel like that's what a lot of this is saying. Don't be so hard on yourself if you're not in the place you wanted to be. This is just part of the journey. You have tons to be grateful for, and this is just one more step. We're at this point where we're realizing where we are, what we need, what we wanted to do, and how we got here, so that we can adjust and shift towards the future, or at the very least, be open to what's coming, because what's coming is going to be vastly different. It's going to be much more aligned with our soul purpose and our needs, and this life that we've been dreaming of. So it is going to be different, and it's going to be better, for sure. But we have to align with that as well. It's not so much, let me put it this way. You can't sit there and be like, hey, I want to be a millionaire. Let me be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. And then it's kind of like the universe is like, we'll go get a job and then we'll do it. But you have to work. You don't just earn $1 million, when you blink an eye and suddenly it sits in front of you. You can be a millionaire, but are you willing to work the way a millionaire works? So that could totally be a thing. And that, again, general reading, so I'm just throwing that out there. But that same mentality is kind of what I'm trying to pass on, if that makes any sense. Alrighties. And then today I'm using the vice versa deck. Oh, that was fun. So I will show you the card. We're just going to keep shuffling, see what else we get. So first card out was Temperance. Which, you know me, I always talk about patience when we get the Angel of the Angel of Temperance, the card of Temperance, which does feature the Angel of Temperance. Okay. We'll start with these, and then we'll pull some more. Alright. So, like I said, here we are. Temperance, Angel of Patience, the combining of the elements, mixing everything into that pot so we can build and manifest what it is we've been longing for. Divine timing, definitely, again in this card. Then we've got the Justice card. The last reading we used this deck in, we got this card in this same position as well. We got it like this. Which I will say, after that reading, I did look up this particular side of the Justice card, which is very interesting. So I'll talk about it. So in here you can see this sword that's kind of have these vines growing over it. Here's the scales kind of falling on the ground, possibly broken. Yeah, possibly broken. And then there's this Egyptian, I'm just going to call it an Egyptian monster. It's probably a god. I've just offended someone. Sorry, didn't mean to. But the purpose of this god was to devour the souls, deemed unworthy. The face of this card, this image, is really about, possibly evading justice for now, but you never truly get away. You may just have slipped by. And that's not necessarily a good thing, because when it catches up to you, it'll be even worse than if you just faced it and dealt with whatever issue you needed to deal with. Which, to me, I think is this kind of omen of this self-realization card. If this moon has been bringing things up for you to deal with, and you're just kind of like, nah, I'm gonna, nah, nope, not gonna, nope, nope, not gonna do that. No, I'm just gonna let that slide. This, to me, this is really the universe coming in and saying, I mean, you can get away with it now, but if you don't deal with it now, that thing is just gonna fester, and I promise it's gonna rear its ugly head again, and it's gonna be worse because you're gonna. It's almost like you're building a house and someone comes on and say, hey, that ground's not really stable. You probably don't want to do that, and you just kind of ignore them and don't do it, and then you continue building the house. It's a much smaller, setback to call it quits now and tear down that foundation, fix the problem, and then start again. Whereas you've completed the house and you stand back and look at it, and then the ground gives way and it falls into a ravine. You've put all this money and set up all this stuff for it to fall apart. To me, that's kind of what this is. Like, this thing that you're like not dealing with, you're gonna have to deal with it eventually, no matter what it is. So I would say for those of you who have had these emotional things pop up, and you're kind of like, meh, nah, it's gonna come around. Like, I would say if you still have the opportunity to face some of those demons, I would say face them. All I'm saying. After that, we do have the Four of Wands here. A great celebratory card. Super, super joyful. This is also a card of union for those of you who, follow twin flame symbolism. But the Four of Wands, this is a foundation, like what I was just talking about, ironically. But this is a foundation. This is something solid. There's also a lot of gratitude and, celebration and just thankfulness in this card as well. We got the gratitude card earlier. After that, we have the Devil card. So, we did get the Devil in its, I'm going to call it reverse, but like vice versa position, which doesn't really change it. Like, the Devil card is kind of just the Devil card. But essentially for this deck, this particular meaning really means like, yes, those demons are still there. Like, there's still temptation out there. But like, it's almost like right now the Devil's attention is turned. Like, he's kind of focusing somewhere else. So you have this chance to get away. Like, you're kind of in control in this moment. Like, if you wanted to slip out, here's your chance. So again, and it's kind of funny. It kind of plays with this Justice card. Like, you have this moment to just escape and run away. You're not necessarily going to get away. Like, especially if this is something karmic you have to deal with. But here, with the Devil card, anything that's been, troubling you or stressing you out, you do have this moment to kind of get out from underneath it, And you can, from there, it doesn't necessarily mean you run away. Like, this card's saying don't run away. Here's like you can kind of get out of the influence, but you still should do something about it. And I say that because we also have the Eight of Pentacles here, which is all about hard work, and putting in the effort. So again, there's still something you can do about this situation to kind of defeat this demon so it doesn't have any power over you. There's still something that you need to be done, some struggle that still kind of needs to be fought. Thought it was going to fall out. Ooh. Look at that. Then we get the Tower card. Destruction of that which does not serve us. And I will say, this particular position, not as horrible as, like the Full Force Tarot card. You know what? I feel like I want to pull the book out and see what this, like, reverse meaning has to say. Let's see, where are you? Here, you're almost there. Here we are. We've seen the broken mask before, behind the gallows of the hanged man. And here are the sphinxes from the chariot. Oh, here. Yeah, it's on this thing. Boom. How did they get to the tower, set in the middle of its lonely sea? Look back over the events and choices that have led you to your present situation. Did you listen to your own inner guidance? Or did you thunder along the wrong road, oblivious to your destination? There is nothing for you here, but you can learn from your errors. We talked about this earlier with this self-realization card, looking at the decisions that got you there. So for those of you that really resonated to, this is kind of the confirmation. Like, you have gone down the wrong path. Your abundance isn't here. You can still learn from it, like there was a lesson to be gained, but the abundance isn't here. This tower is empty. So, What did you learn? How can we do things differently? And now let's move forward. Now it's time to put in this work. We've got a road to repair, a path to rebuild. Because this is where we're trying to get to. And this is also the energy we still want to carry. Even though we found ourselves at this tower position, that doesn't mean we can't be grateful for what it taught us. And it probably was part of the plan, because here we have the card for divine timing. So maybe we needed some extra time. Maybe the opportunity we're coming to and arriving at wasn't fully ready yet. So we kind of had to give it a little time. Needed to cook a little bit longer. So we can be grateful for that. That by the time I get there, the thing I'm waiting for is going to be ready. Whew. I feel like I still want some more. Like I should probably wrap it up, but I'm like, I feel like there's something that needs to be said and it hasn't been said yet. Alright, well. Boom Jemima. So, Two of Pentacles. Making a choice. Weighing the options. Also being flexible. Willing to change your mind. We also have the Ace of Cups here. Beautiful energy. And then the Three of Wands. I feel like every reading we've done, we keep getting the Three of Wands. It's more confirmation. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. What's coming? Hello, Ace of Love. I mean, it is. Ace of Cups. You know, self-love, true love. Ooh. But again, it's hinging on this choice. We're going to have to make that choice, especially for those people who are on this path and realizing it now. You know, it's time to make a new choice. Time to make a new choice and move forward and welcome in this abundance. Ooh, ooh, all right. I almost feel like that was for like a different set of people. I think as this channel grows, we're starting to get multiple storylines in here. So I feel like that was like a new set. So if you're new to this channel and that resonated, welcome. I'm pretty sure that was for you. Hi, how you doing? But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. That feels good. Bottom of the deck right now. Here we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Again, Knight of Pentacles always heading to the finish line, the destination. This particular position, you know, this Knight of Pentacles he's gone down a very long, tiring path. It's been a rough road, but he's still moving forward. You know, he's a little tired now. Doesn't mean he's not going to make it. Here we are. We also have, oh, sorry. I'm holding at this weird angle. We've also got the Seven of Wands. This Seven of Wands also kind of in this kind of like post-battle kind of beaten down kind of shape. But you can see there's no opponents there. Like in the normal position, you know, you kind of have all these wands and staves pointing at him. Here you can see there's no opponents there. It's not like he's getting ready for battle. It's already happened. So like I feel like again this is kind of a post-battle situation, and now we're kind of figuring out how we get back on track, how we get back to the group, because right now we got a little lost. Is kind of what happened. Then underneath that, we have the Six of Pentacles, being in the flow, taking care of those passions, those we care about. I always see in this card, it's kind of like this lord or, you know, mayor of this little town, and he's like watching over it and protecting it. That's kind of what you're doing with your own passions, your own life path. You know, you're nurturing it, you're taking care of it, you're seeing it grow to fruition. And then we have the Lovers card. We got this in the last reading that we used this deck in. And this particular position talks about how things are getting easier and it's smoother. You know, this union is going to be easier. The way forward is getting easier. Then we also have the Chariot card. Under that, we talked about the Chariot with the Sphinxes in the Tower card. Chariot is forward progression. It's movement. Underneath that, we've got the Six of Swords moving into calmer waters. Hello, yes ma'am. And then even in this position, you can see they're like coming out of a cave. So again, coming out of the dark. And then we have the Fool. Brand new beginning. Fresh start. Mic drop. Don't know how else to say it. So again, all of us are getting a new beginning. We're all getting the fresh start. Some of us are getting a reroute for those who are on that particular path. you know, it's just about making that decision to not look at the past, not look at, you know, looking where things fell short or things didn't pan out the way you wanted, because it was part of your path. Instead, look at the way forward. Look at what you learned. Look at, you know, the growth you made and, you know, the trial you overcame. Those are the things you want to look to. You want to look to the strengths so that you can use that to move forward. All right? And for the rest of us, you know, it's continuing to just be open and welcoming to this new energy, to these, you know, this new dawn, essentially, that we are welcoming in. Whew. Okay, I'm so glad I used these cards. Awesome. All right, my lovelies, I'm going to send you on your way. Thank you so much. Again, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I hope you hit the subscribe and join our community. If you're returning, welcome back. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and especially if it resonated. And if it did, I'd love to hear how it's working for you, what's going on in your personal situation, or, you know, if you felt anything, leave me a comment down below. You can always DM me on Instagram at The Guiding Chariot. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, all that information is in the description box. Alright, my loves, I will see you later. Have a good one.